Hi. I'll start off saying kind of who I am, and then you can go through and ask the questions again.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, my name's Madeline McGrenera, and I am the manager of operations for a shelter for cancer families. So we only have 3 employees, so we each kind of take on different hats depending what is going on at the time. So most of the things I help with are, kind of admin behind the scenes, grants, bills, financials, fundraising, any events we have going on, making sure the apartments are running, and that's kind of what I do for them. So.
Well, thank you so much for taking time to talk to me. Do you mind telling me a little bit about the background of a shelter for cancer families and who founded it or when it was founded?
Sure. It was founded by Melissa Bellinger. She actually lives in Siena with us. She started it over 20 years ago. She was her first husband. They had just been married. His name was Tom Amschwand, and unfortunately, he developed a rare sarcoma. I don't know what it's called because it's a long name, but it was in his brain, a sarcoma in his brain, and so they lived in Houston. So what they learned from being in Houston at MD Anderson was how lucky they were that they were able to get to and from treatments and have a place to stay at the best, cancer facility in the country. Unfortunately, he did not survive the cancer, and she lost him within about a year of their being married, which was about 20 years ago. And one of his dreams was to have an organization that would help people with housing. So that's what Missy did. She started it. When she started the organization 20 years ago, it was called the Amschwand Sarcoma Cancer Foundation, because that's the type of cancer he had. So she would house people at her house. Then she was able with fundraising to afford a few apartments. And at that point, they also helped fund different types of research for sarcoma. We have a board, and over the years, they decided in 2017 that they did not want to only house sarcoma patients. They wanted to be open to anybody who needed housing. So in 2017, we changed our name to a shelter for cancer families so that we could house anybody. We do not, there isn't one reason you can't stay with us. We house families, we house young people, we house old people. We let the whole family come. Some places you can only have one person stay with you. We let the whole family come and stay with you. So there's no income requirements, there's no requirements at all. So anybody can stay with us. It's just based on, first come, first serve, and what's available at the time.
Yeah, I just realized that the acronyms say the same too. Like when you change the name.
It did stay the same. Yes.
That's cool. So I wanted to ask about how many families stay with your organization each month, and how has the pandemic affected your ability to house families?
Our building has 15 units, so at any given time we can house 15 families at a time. We were lucky enough, that we had a founder who knew what she was doing, and when we bought the building, we made sure that each unit would be self-contained. We added washer and dryers to each unit because at first it was a community laundry room, and Missy knew that would not work, and each unit has kitchens, and each unit we don't have a central hallway. It's outside. So during the pandemic, it did not affect us at all. Each family is completely self-contained. They do not come in contact with another family. So we were very lucky that we'd set it up that way. A lot of facilities had to close. It couldn't house cancer families, but we were able to. We don't always have all 15 units occupied because we could have a family coming, we think tomorrow, and MD Anderson says, never mind, you're not ready, come the next week. So it's always fluctuating up and down how many families at a given time we have, but we are able to have 15 at a time, if needed.
And then is there a limit on how long the families can stay, or is it just throughout the duration of their treatment?
If you go to our website, it says 8 weeks. We've never not let a family stay longer than that if it's needed, the case-by-case basis. But we say 8 weeks. The average stay that we say is, if we calculate it, it's around 50 days. And I was going to calculate that for you, but I don't have my calculator. Anyways, what I was going to tell you, so for 1 month, let's pretend we have 15 families staying with us. That's about 450 nights, and the average cost in Texas Medical Center is $150. So in 1 month, we're able to save cancer families $67,000 in expense that they would have to pay otherwise.
Wow,
and so I was going to, like, what's the 50 days? 50 days times 150. I was going to calculate that. Let's see. 5, 7, what is that? Like 800. I was trying to calculate that, Emma. And I was trying to calculate, we had a family stay with us for 50 days at an average of 150. That'd be zero. Yeah, we'd save a family over $8,000.
Oh, wow.
Because, you have to think, they still have homes. Some of them have to do the traveling to and from. So, yeah, if one family stayed with us 50 days, in my calculations probably aren't right because I'm rushing, it's
that sounds right.
$1,000. So, yes, and that's just one of what we do. We also do the cancer family celebrations. So we try to provide. We don't want their life to change. At least the celebration side. So we do birthdays and the joyful jack-o'-lanterns, and we're doing Thanksgiving right now. We'll do Christmas, and back before the pandemic started, we tried to do fun things for them, like Taco Tuesday nights, and we want it to feel like a home, and that's what's needed when building. We have families now that are like, the wives are both here with the husbands, and they're like best friends now. They have someone here with them. Before when we had the apartment building, then they didn't really know anybody. Here, they know every single person is not maybe in the same situation, but going through kind of the thing they are. So it's like this amazing sense of community there as well.
Right.
Which is kind of new.
Yeah, that's amazing. And switching over to the Hearts of Gold campaign, do you know about how much money we raised this year in total, or like how the organization?
Yep. Hearts of Gold raised $70,000, which is double what we raised last year. But last year we did it with another organization, so we actually only made 15. We only netted about 15,000. So this year was amazing for us as far as the fundraising.
Yeah, that's great.
So,
and then what did you think about the Gold Rush signs this year? Do you think you're going to stick with that for next year?
Yeah, we'll for sure do Gold Rush. What we will try to do this year, we were able to do, I think we had 6 sets in Sienna, 6 or 7. We had the 2 or 3 in Greatwood. We had 3 in Cypress. And we had a few people in Dallas that wish they had been doing it, so we'll probably send a set to Dallas, and we will for sure continue it. Yes.
Great.
This year ran better than last year, so I think we'll kind of do it how we did it this year. But yeah, Hearts of Gold, everything was amazing. So yeah, and the gold rushing is what you helped with, so we'll for sure do that.
Great. And then lastly, do you mind sharing one either like tradition that you like about a shelter for cancer families, or one good memory you have from working there?
Sure. Yeah, I would say, Catwalk, which is our biggest, it's our other, I didn't tell you about our other fundraiser. So Hearts of Gold is kind of a new fundraiser for us. How the organization started was, it's called our Catwalk Gala. It's a fashion show, cancer family tribute gala that we normally have in November. We had to move it because of COVID, but it kind of worked out because we've moved it to February, which is our 20th year anniversary. And I met the organization. We need about 20 to 30 volunteers night at the event. So I had volunteered with that for maybe 2 or 3 years before I started working for AFPF. And so I would say, that's our biggest fundraiser and one of the most fun things that we do. But I'd have to say that getting to know these families the way that we do is the most thing that I love about the organization. They become parts of our family. we babysit for them. We go to their kids' birthday parties. You get to give back, which is, I think, just a huge part of life, giving back. I don't think people realize how much it actually does for me. Me giving back does more for me than maybe for them even. So I'd have to say that's what I like the most about the organization, is the people that we get to meet and what we get to do for other people. So
that's amazing. Yeah, I'm very grateful to work with you guys. It's amazing.
We love having you.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome.
All right.